An Indian Dream Modified M J Akbar F66. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents 1. An Indian Dream 2. Grammar page. An Indian Dream Modified. You can spot the Urdu-speaking Muslim guy from a mile away. He's chilling in a budget cafe, maybe sipping tea, maybe not, parked in front of a mirror where he sneaks a glance at his sharp look while lighting a cigarette. His hair's got that perfect wave. Before he bounces, he'll check it's still on point, red comb tucked in his pocket. He flashes a warm smile at the kid wiping tables, who's probably dreaming of being just like him one day, and swaps a quick word with the owner behind the counter. When he's deep in conversation, he'll squint like he's unraveling the meaning of life, especially if he thinks someone's watching. Problem is, he rarely catches a girl's eye. Indian girls don't flirt in public, except maybe at their sister's wedding when sparks might fly. Ashfaq Hussain was a regular at Diamond Cafe, always holding court at his favorite corner table. He was rarely alone. Kader, Salim, and Ajoy were usually there too. They'd graduated from Maulana Azad College a year ago, just a short walk from the cafe. Their 3 years at college were split evenly between the campus canteen and Diamond's tables, burning the midnight oil over chai and debates. Lately, Ashfaq had been obsessing over his hair more than usual. The reason? Not hard to guess, a girl. A Muslim girl, to be precise. It all started at a wedding. Indian weddings are a chaotic web of family, friends, and distant acquaintances. No one gets left out. They are a battleground for old grudges and new connections. Elders size up potential matches, scoping out prospects for their kids. Sometimes, amidst the chaos, a spark ignites, bodies brushing past each other on some rushed errand, silk camis grazing a sherwani, the electric friction of youth and attraction. Ayesha's camis hugged her curves, its floral pattern framing her youth, her churidar accentuating her grace. When their hands lingered a moment too long, Ashfaq felt like he was on cloud 9, as if he was the one getting married. Finding out her name was easy, Ayesha. Ayesha, he whispered to himself. Dude, why don't you just pool some cash and hit up Lily? Maybe that'll snap you out of it, Salim said, rolling his eyes. The guys had been riffing on Ashfaq's newfound crush for days, but 3 days of jokes was pushing it. I'm not blowing $45 on that, Ashfaq shot back, a bit deflated. Chill, Salim, Ajoy cut in. Ashfaq's in love, that's worth way more than $45. Idiots, Ashfaq muttered. The conversation veered back to the usual. Girls, politics, soccer, money, and more politics. Ashfaq realized he'd made a fool of himself, but his feelings for Ayesha didn't fade. If anything, not seeing her made it worse. He learned she was a first year at Loreto College on Park Street, daughter of a wealthy kebab restaurant owner. So Ashfaq started eating there. He timed his walks to pass Park Street at 3:30 p.m., daily hoping to catch a glimpse. But every day at 3:20, a sleek blue ambassador rolled into the college compound. By 3:30, Ayesha, smiling, chatting, or lost in thought, slid into the car and vanished. She didn't even notice him. 2 months of this, and Ashfaq was bored of pining from a distance. He couldn't figure out how to talk to her. Sure, he could accidentally bump into her, but what if she shut him down? The thought was unbearable. He'd studied in an Urdu medium school, got his B.A. in Urdu, and was now a 21-year-old chasing an 18-year-old convent-educated girl with a polished English accent. The gap felt like a mountain to climb. It started to eat at him, his cramped Tanabagan home, the cockroach-filled bathroom, the faded green walls with a cheap Nehru portrait next to his photo, his 3 synthetic shirts, those flimsy curtains, his sister mopping the floor with muddy water, his mom chopping veggies in a smoky kitchen. He wanted out. He wanted a corporate job, a tie, a fancy apartment with a sofa set. Ashfaq had been sending out job applications since graduation, but now he was desperate. He checked the post office daily for replies, dreaming of a job, a flat, Ayesha, and a happily ever after. One Friday, a thin envelope brought good news. A big firm invited him for a test and interview for a management trainee position on Brabourne Road. He prayed that afternoon, something he hadn't done in years, begging for the job. He showed up early, rocking a new blue tie with black streaks, bought just for this. The day dragged on, and he couldn't help noticing Salim's subtle jealousy or Adjoy's smug grin. Adjoy, the wannabe revolutionary, always got snarky about jobs. Was it a crime to want a decent paycheck? We got over 20,000 applications from across India, Mr. Merchandani, the interviewer said casually. Someone asked, how many spots are there? He smiled. As many as we need. Ashfaq took the test quietly. He couldn't match the polished English of the other candidates, but he banked on his smarts. When Mr. Merchandani read out the names for the next round, publicly with apologies to those cut, the three who made it all had perfect accents. The rest shuffled out, humiliated, forcing weak smiles as they said goodnight. After 4 rejections, Ashfaq got it. Adjoy was right, being lower middle class and average didn't cut it. You needed connections, a degree in something like economics, or a posh accent and a fancy home. So he lowered his sights: clerk jobs, sales gigs, anything with a shot at promotion. His sister's teasing got so bad he stayed out late to avoid them. He snapped at his mom, only softening when she served him dinner. Bits of gossip about Ayesha fueled his obsession. She was witty, once shutting down a creepy old guy with ease. One rainy afternoon over tea and cigarettes, Adjoy asked, "What does Ayesha even look like?" 6 months in, the dream hadn't faded, but her face had. All he had were vague words: beautiful, stunning. That night he couldn't sleep, wrestling with Adjoy's question. His mind, stuck in traditional grooves, couldn't pin it down. Was he in love with a person or an idea? After 6 Charminar cigarettes, he decided it was the feeling that mattered. He woke up renewed, still head over heels for Ayesha. His passion drove him to hustle harder. He chased every lead, explored every opportunity. A distant relative, annoyed by Ashfaq's persistence, finally tipped him off about a clerk job at a suburban municipality. With his degree, local youth club cred, and recommendations from a Muslim official and 2 professors, he had a shot. The interview room reeked of damp government bureaucracy, paperwork, files, and petty corruption. The chairman, with his horn-rimmed glasses and smug air, sat at the head of a long table, flanked by a bold guy with wiry hair and a young commissioner in a cheap tie. Ashfaq's nerves were shot. The job went to Shyam Babu's candidate, backed by the votes of 2,000 factory workers who'd helped elect the chairman. That day Ayesha left college early. He didn't see her. He wandered down Park Street, lingered at newsstands with pricey Playboy magazines, and ended up at the Chowringhee crossing. A towering Gandhi statue loomed over the ritzy streets, half-naked and ironic, guarding cabarets and wealth. This was Ashfaq's India, hunger and faith for the poor, black money for the rich. Desperation hit like a bolt from the blue. Nothing mattered anymore: family, ideals, love, the street, the statue. Everything he'd believed in crumbled. But then a flicker of hope. Between Park Street's polish and Dharmatala's grit, now Lenin Sarani, a nod to West Bengal's faux Marxism, maybe he could be a revolutionary. Not like Adjoy, all talk. Ashfaq could go to the villages, die a hero, and actually understand why. 3 teas later he was lost again, defeated by his roots, by that damn sofa set. Lily was thrilled but surprised. She dealt with nervous first-timers, but Ashfaq was next level. He was trying too hard to impress, mostly himself. Whatever it was, his cash, probably pinched from his dad. She'd give him a good time and not overthink it. Ashfaq soaked in the hotel room's luxury, $80 a night, who cared? The AC, the silence, the thick carpet under his bare feet. He'd heard how these things went. Hiding his nerves, he ordered scotch over the phone, ignoring the waiter's smirk. Sinking into a plush armchair, he watched Lily undress, her smile sparking a storm inside him as she unbuttoned his shirt. In the bathtub, warm water and Lily's touch made him feel cleaner than ever. Later, in his new 7-rupee tie, he headed to dinner. The world felt surreal: loud music, couples dancing, money flowing. This was living. How could anyone settle for less? He burped and laughed loudly, startling Lily and the prim waiters. She hissed, "Stop it." He dialed it back, not wanting to ruin the night. For once he was happy. Screw everything. That night, on a foam mattress and crisp white sheets, he felt a pang for Ayesha. It was foolish, but it had meant something. Ashfaq's suicide in that upscale hotel room on January 21 made the news. Lily freaked, worried she'd be blamed. The hotel took a PR hit and the desk clerk got sacked, leaving him jobless with 3 kids to feed. Ashfaq's parents were devastated. A son is a son, job or no job. At Diamond Cafe, the vibe shifted. Adjoy called Ashfaq a coward, but Kader and Salim told him to shove his Marxism. They didn't talk much after the funeral. Ayesha. She married a rich, foreign-educated Muslim businessman, great dancer, killer accent, pretty smart. Life moved on. 2 grammar page.